Helen Wilkes. Kellyon.
Kellyn.
Raise your right hand this morning, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this class is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I swear. And you be seated. Make yourself comfortable and adjust your mindset.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Could you please state your name for the court?
My name is Kellyn Wilkes.
And Ms. Wilkes, are you employed?
I am.
And where are you employed at?
I am employed with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
And what do you do there? What's your job title?
I'm a special agent on our current cold case unit.
And how long have you been employed with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation?
I have been employed with the GBI since 2011.
And have you been in the same position the whole time that you've been employed with them?
Prior to being on our cold case unit, I was a crime scene specialist at the Region 4 Douglas, Georgia GBI office.
Okay. And what is a crime scene specialist?
A crime scene specialist is the person that basically assists the case agent on, it can be homicide investigations, and we will do whatever is requested from the case agent, whether that's collecting evidence, photographs, sketches, anything like that.
And I assume you're a law enforcement officer, you're an agent, and what training and certifications do you have to become a law enforcement officer?
I went to the police academy to get my initial training, and then when I got hired with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, they sent us through agent school, and when I became a crime scene specialist, we also went to the National Forensic Academy, and spent several weeks there.
And were you in law enforcement of any kind prior to going to the GBI?
I was a special agent at the Omaha Drug Task Force for about a year prior to becoming a GBI agent.
Okay. And were you in law enforcement before that? Like, when did you become post-certified?
That's my only law enforcement experience.
Okay. You're in the drug, Omaha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what certain counties you cover with that drug task force unit?
I primarily worked in African County and Champaign County during my time there, as well as Wayne in an undercover capacity.
Okay. And you mentioned you currently work on the cold case unit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long has that been established, the cold case unit? How long has it been established? You can tell us about what that is.
For a couple of years now, and basically our unit is established to assist the regional offices with their cold cases. We will offer to do reviews of their cases and just kind of be an extra set of hands, an extra set of eyes for them when they're being inundated with active cases that they have to focus on at this time.
Okay. And you were subpoenaed for this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Today, and so you are familiar with the case that you're subpoenaed on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the case that you're subpoenaed on, the Odum case with Baby Jane Doe, was that part of the cold case unit you're talking about?
No, this was prior to my time in the correction.
I just want to clarify that. Okay, so mentioning going to the Baby Jane Doe, Baby Jane Doe case, did you have any involvement in that case, in the investigation of that case in any way?
I did.
Okay, and can you tell us when that was and for how long that was? We'll start there.
I believe that most of my involvement with this case would have been in 2012. And during that time, I just assisted the case agent at his direction to do whatever he needed done, especially relating to evidence, as well as some internet search type activity to make some determinations about the clothing of the victim.
Okay, and who was the lead case agent at that time?
Special Agent Dale Wiley.
Okay, And do you know the status of the case prior to 2012? Do you know anything about any activity or investigative activity that would have been going on?
Prior to 2012, my knowledge would have been very, very limited.
Okay. Do you know why that you went and did these tasks with Agent Wiley in 2012? Well, was there something that initiated that?
These activities took place because some evidence was located in relation to this case.
Okay. When you mean evidence located, are you talking about new evidence or?
This would have been original evidence from the crime scene.
Okay, when you say located, was there an issue locating the evidence at some point?
I believe that it was being housed at Ware County Sheriff's Office.
And so y'all wanted to get it located and do additional testing
That's correct.
for the purpose of solving the case?
That's correct.
Okay, so tell us what you did or did in conjunction with Dale Wiley on this case.
One of the things that we did at his direction, he located some hairs on a couple of pieces of evidence. One of those was a TV cabinet face as well as some plywood. I collected those hairs for him. And we also assessed what is called a foot locker, was the top piece of sort of like a suitcase. We assessed it to try to see what could possibly be done with it, but we noted immediately that it was covered on top with several strips of silver duct tape. We did collect a hair off of the top of that foot locker. We did collect that, take it, and ultimately decided to cut the ends of some of those strips of duct tape in hopes that there could be potential to be DNA from where someone's pulling off the tape and placing it onto the top of this foot locker. So we collected those as well.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness? Agent Wilkes, if I'm going to hand you what's been marked State's Exhibit 18, 19, and 20, I'm asking you to look at them separately. We'll start with 18. Look at that and see if you recognize that.
This is the evidence received from those pieces of torn duct tape ends that we just spoke about.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of that evidence form or chain of custody form?
It is.
Okay, and as to 19, you'll look at that and see if you recognize that.
This is the custody form for the tape lift of the hair that was on top of that foot locker top.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of that chain of custody form that you completed?
It is.
And if you'll go ahead and look at the next one, that would be 20. Same question, do you recognize that?
This is the form for the tape lifts from the plywood and the TV cabinet that we just spoke about.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of your evidence form, chain of custody form?
It is.
Your Honor, this time I will tender, State's Exhibit 18, it's, torn duct tape evidence form. State's Exhibit 19, tape lift of hair evidence form. State's Exhibit 20, tape lifts from plywood.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, no objections? States 18, 19, and 20 recommended.
Thank you, Your Honor. And when you collected that evidence, or y'all collected the evidence, because I am correct in what you testified to, that some things y'all did together,
That's correct. Or his direction to do that.
or his direction, okay? So when y'all collected these items, what did y'all do with them? Once you fill out that evidence form and that chain of custody form that you filled out, those three that we just discussed, what happens next? What did you do with the evidence?
These items of evidence then just go to our evidence room where it's secure storage and it will be safe.
Okay. And were these items ever sent to the lab?
I believe that they were by Agent Wiley.
And to your knowledge, did you ever receive information that the evidence that you collected produced some kind of investigative lead?
No.
Now, you talked about collecting the hairs, from those items. What else did you do in this case?
I used the photographs that Agent Wiley took of the victim's clothing and the tags particularly to see if there was anything that we might be able to identify based on that, because at this time, we did not know who this driver was. So the shirt tag, I believe it was the shirt, had a really, really faded logo that was hard to tell what it was. And so late one night, I just started searching on the internet to see if I could figure it out in hopes that maybe it's specific to an area or a state or something that might give us kind of an idea. And I'm pretty sure that this was before any type of Google image search like we have today, where you can take a picture and it'll tell you what it looks like and show you an example. So this was me just having to Google search as best I could. I was able to determine that the shirt tag appeared to be a company called Land and Sea Clothing, and that is evidently based out of New York. The reverse side of that tag had an RN number. I could tell that it started with a 19, but I couldn't determine the other numerics behind it. It appeared to me from what I was researching that only would tell me that it was made after 1959. So that ended up being incredibly helpful. And then the pants tag said Twin Togs Creations. You could see that. And it appeared as though that was also from a company based out of New York.
Okay, so you were trying to see if like you could find anything specific, local, maybe to a certain region, to a certain area, or anything that you could track back down to identify the victim in the case.
That's correct.
Okay, and what, you said you took photographs of the garments or the child from?
I used the photographs that Agent Wiley was taking.
That he did take it, okay, and the clothes are in evidence. And do you remember what size the clothing was?
I can't recall off the top of my head.
Okay. And you were not able to get any investigative leads from the clothing research that you did?
I don't believe Agent Wiley got any leads from that at all.
All right. Anything else that you could think of that you participated in? Did you do anything related to media releases or anything like that? Okay. All right, no further questions, John. All right.
Good afternoon, King Books, Art. Books, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
All right, I'm Attorney Julius, I have another person that's told in this matter. I'll be brief. I think on the direct examination, you stated that you examined the Foot Locker, you were located in Ware County,
In Douglas, Georgia.
so the Foot Locker was in Douglas, Georgia.
That's correct.
Now, I think you also stated that at some point you conducted tape lists.
That's correct.
Could you explain that?
Tape list is basically taking a piece of clear tape and just using it to press down onto the hair or fiber to lift it up.
And you conducted the tape lifts on, I believe you stated within your report, it was found suspected hair with some plywood or board that had nails with it.
That's correct.
All right, and you also conducted a tape lift on a TV cabinet face, right?
Correct.
And what did you do with those tape lifts after you completed them?
They would just put it in evidence.
So do you know today if they were tested?
I do not know.
Do you know if, this is the 2012 when you conducted the tape lifts? Correct?
Yes.
Do you know or have any information that these tape lifts had been done prior to you doing them?
Are you asking if someone else had tape lifted prior to?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have any information that you see here today that tape lifts had been done prior to you doing them in 2012?
I don't know.
So it's possible that 2012 was the first time that take this had been conducted on the items that you conducted take this on, right? It's possible.
It's possible.
And the accusation is that this crime took place in 1988, right? Or maybe no.
As far as I know, yes.
So from 1988 to 2012, say this about, the mathematician, about 24 years, right?
From 2012 to 88.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. About 24 years. So it's possible that over the course of 24 years, no one had conducted any tape lifts on this suspected hair or plywood or that was in the TV gap that you know of.
It's possible.
You also stated that in 2012, you examined the foot locker. You stated you were in Douglasville at the time, right?
Correct.
Region 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Near the DMV, right?
That's correct.
I'm from Douglas.
Okay.
You stated that you removed the silver duct tapes, just the edges off of the duct tape that's on the top of the lid, correct?
Correct.
So that was just solely the top of the lid from this alleged suitcase at the time, right?
That's correct.
At any point, did you conduct tape lifts or did you examine the bottom portion of this foot locker?
No,
Do you currently know where that is today?
I do not.
Now that duct tape, just when you reviewed it, or when you viewed the top of this lid, the duct tape, it was straight across the top, almost like the tape hanging off the sides of it.
That's my recollection.
Okay. But you didn't take the entire strip of tape off the top of it, just the edges.
Right, I believe so.
Now, those tape lifts, do you know if they have been tested?
I do not know.
And that was also in 2012, right?
That's correct.
So again, about 24 years in between the alleged crime taking place. 2012, about 24 years difference or time period between this happened that you actually went in, that you know of, and conducted tape lifts on this foot locker, right?
Correct.
Now, how long have you been with the GBI again? I think I missed, I think you said since about 2011.
That's correct.
Now, since 2011, you probably done thousands of tape lifts, right? Possible.
I have no idea.
Safe to say hundreds.
Probably.
Now, also, isn't it also true that in 2023, that at some point you went to Freakoff to examine if they had, find out if they had any evidence in this case that's being stored in their county, right?
I believe I accompanied Agent Conley to Ware County Sheriff's Office at some point in more recent years.
And isn't it also true that upon arrival at some point, by your inspection over in Ware County, that a concrete and a television stand was found at the Ware County Sheriff's Office?
That's correct.
And then also true that this television stand was in several pieces, right?
That is my recollection.
You say the tape lifts, anything that you've done thus far, from what you know is just it's stored in the evidence.
Correct.
1 second. recall attending a meeting in 2023 with Assistant Manager Odum, the Correction Section Manager for the Georgia Bureau of Investigations?
Was that at the crime lab?
Yes, ma'am.
I do,
You recall the contents of the discussion that was going on there?
not very well.
Do you recall the purpose of the meeting?
I believe Agent Huntley called the meeting just to discuss what evidence might be available.
You recall that Agent Huntley asked if television stand and any other information or any other items could be tested further for fingerprints?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if Agent Huntley was told that additional testing can be done on some of the evidence such as the metal TV stand?
I don't recall.
Have you ever done a tape lift on the metal TV stand before? We make sure, have you ever done a tape lift on them before?
Probably have.
Do you know if a tape lift was done on the metal TV stand in this case?
I do not know about that.
One second. Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Right? Right?
Nothing further, Your Honor. She may be excused as far as we're concerned.
All right. Your objection to excusing the witness?
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you very much for excuse.
You're going to say we call Terresa Odum.
You would please raise your right hand, be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this cause? Hold true to the truth. State. You see this, you feel comfortable and take your mind.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name for the record?
It is Dr. Terresa Odum.
Okay. And Dr. Odum, where do you live at?
I reside over on Cardinal Road Court, right?
That's your Albany?
Yes,
Okay. All right. And, are you employed?
yes, I am.
And where are you employed at?
I am an employee of Doherty County School System.
Okay. And how long have you been employed with the school system?
3 years.
Okay. All right. And, you said your title's doctor. Is that in education or?
It's not in education, but I have a doctorate in management.
Oh, okay.
But I do teach.
You do teach, okay. All right. And what grades do you teach or what subject?
I'm a combination from 9 through 12. I'm a combination math teacher.
Oh, wow, okay, something I cannot do now. All right, so, you were subpoenaed for this case. And when I say this case, do you know what I'm referring to? Do you know what this case is about?
Correct, yes.
Do you know the defendant?
Yes.
And how do you know the defendant?
I've known years, dating my sister.
I'm sorry,
Known for years dating my sister,
who's your sister?
Evelyn Odom.
Evelyn Odum, is that the name you know her by?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see her in the courtroom? Can you see the table over there?
I haven't looked for her.
Okay. Is your sister the same Evelyn Odom that goes by Zanetta Luciano?
Yes.
Okay. Is your sister the same person who's charged in the death of her child?
I'm guessing it's one.
I don't know. Okay. But your sister is Evelyn Odom. Is that
I
how-
believe it.
Okay, make sure we have to establish that. So, What is the age difference between you and Evelyn Odum, your sister?
7 years.
7 years. Who's older and who's younger?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest, okay. Did y'all grow up in the same household?
Yes.
And where did y'all grow up at?
On Monroe Street, right on the north side of our block.
Okay. And, what's y'all's mother's name?
Mary Odum.
Okay. And did, Ms. Mary Odum live in Albany?
Yes.
Okay. And, did anyone else live in the household with y'all?
At what point?
Well, let's go back. Y'all were growing up. Did y'all live in the household with your mom? Y'all were growing up as minors, you know?
As minors, yes, on Monroe Street, 1412 North Monroe.
Okay.
All her kids live with her.
I was with her, okay. And then at some point, did you leave home, or did Evelyn leave home, or where y'all didn't live together anymore?
These would have to be specific years. I can only remember moving around.
Okay. And I'm not asking you specifically where y'all lived, at what point did you not live with Evelyn Odom, your sister, anymore? You remember?
That would have been when I was in the 8th grade, but the thing is, I moved to a different location with my mother, and then we moved to another location, but I also left Doherty County twice during my high school years.
Okay, so when you were in high school, you moved to different locations with your mother. Where were they? So you said one was out of Doherty County, where was that at?
But the first time that I moved, that was in the 7th grade,
Okay.
and I moved with my mother, that was Ware County. The second time that I left, I was in Camden County, down in Kingsville, Georgia. That's my 10th grade year.
Okay, all right. So you said Ware County. Was there any specific reason y'all moved to Ware County?
No, just relocated.
Okay. Did y'all have any other relatives or anything over there?
In Ware County is my mother, myself, my aunt, and her brother,
Okay. Who's your aunt?
Ruby Hodge.
Okay, so did she live in Ware County prior to that, or she moved at the same time y'all?
That I'm not sure, but I just know that she was there when my mother and I arrived.
Okay. But before you moved to Ware County,
Mhm.
and I know you said you're the youngest, so, did you still have contact with your sister Evelyn before you moved to Ware County, like when you were young?
Yes, that would have been during my middle school age, like the 6th grade, is when I was in the 5th grade. We relocated to the south side of town, so, yeah, at that point, yes. And that was when we lived on South McKinley.
Okay. Do you remember at what point Evelyn left the house, left the family home and went out on her own?
I do not.
Okay, you don't remember how old you were?
No, I can only give you my age based on the time frame moving around. So, then during the 7th grade, around the age of 13, I knew that she was around me, but because I was youngest and still in school, my focus was on school.
Right. And when you were in high school, did you live in the same household as Evelyn, your sister?
Yes, at one point.
At one point, but not all the time in high school, not all the time.
That is correct, because one year I was not in Doherty County.
Okay. And where did Evelyn live when you were in your mother and your aunt were in Ware County?
I'm not sure where she lived prior to that, but when I came back from Ware County, that was on Malone, on the east side of Albany.
Okay, and did she live with anyone that you, to your knowledge?
Ulysses Sanders.
Okay, and did she have any children?
Yes, her kids were there with her.
Okay, and what kids are those?
I can remember, Gregory Levy, Patrick Thompson. I can remember those two. I'm not sure how many more there were, because again, I was focused on school myself. So I know kids were there, I just can't recall all that were there.
Right. And, are you familiar with Kenyatta Odom?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and who is that?
That is my niece.
Okay, and did you have, what type of contact, if any, did you have with Kenyatta?
Oh, well, the girl, that was my niece. We had a good relationship. I just, I recall spending time with Kenyatta when we lived on North Monroe Street.
Okay, all right. And when was the last time you saw Kenyatta?
That, I'm not sure now. As far as when we were on the loan, I believe she was there, but I can't confirm that she was, because again, I can only recall the two boys. So I don't know. I know it was kids there, I just don't know.
Do you know how old she might have been or what age she might have been around the last time you saw her?
Maybe 3 or 4, possibly.
Did you ever see her after that time anywhere? Even if you didn't have contact, did you ever see her anywhere else?
No.
Did you ever ask your sister
Yes.
where she was?
Yes.
And what did your sister say?
She was with Medea.
Medea?
Yes.
Do you know Medea?
I do not.
Did you ask her any questions regarding who Medea was or anything like that?
I did not.
Do you and your sister, or did y'all have contact at the time this case broke? Were y'all still talking? Did y'all hang out? Did y'all have a close relationship prior to her arrest?
We've always had a close relationship, and not so much as hanging out, because I like to isolate, so
Yes.
they see me when I'm allowed them to see me. But the relationship has always been close, always will be.
Okay, great. All right, no further questions. The defense will probably have some questions for you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Odum.
Good afternoon.
You already know Attorney Julius, I'm her, with your sister, Evelyn Odum. You had an opportunity to speak before on the telephone, right? She'll need her response.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I just want to make sure, what is your degree in?
It's in management.
It's your doctorate, right?
That is correct.
Now, what about your undergraduate?
Business management and small business management. I've studied with business from the time I started out with my associate. It's just the concentrations may have been a little bit different.
Now, say that you stuff about childhood. Who all went to college in your family? Your immediate siblings?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
The state on direct examination, they talked to you about growing up and you said you were a doctor. I was asking, who all do you know in your family, your immediate siblings have college degrees, if any?
My sister, Eleanor Odum, who's young, have degrees in college also.
You know they're in?
I think one was in law, I'm not quite sure.
And were you able to make her graduation?
I was not
Where were you at?
in New York.
But you knew she had graduated?
That is correct.
You knew that because you seen the photograph of her graduation picture?
That and also that I talked to her during the time of working on her degree.
One second, girl. You know our first witness?
graduation picture from state university.
Is that the same picture you saw before?
Yes, it is.
Does it look to be in the same condition as when you seen it?
Yes.
Now move to have definitive evidence.
Defendant five, you said?
Definitive files, yes.
Okay. Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Five submitted.
Did y'all ever get it, sorry, did y'all ever get into, I'm sorry, Judge, now, affirmation goes to the jury?
Absolutely.
Now, Ms. Odom, talk about, you have college degrees, you have a doctorate, your sister has degrees. Did y'all ever get into like civil and robbery, like degrees or anything?
Not at all.
It's educated?
Okay.
Now, on direct examination, you were asked, about the time that you lived with your sister when you were in middle school.
Yes.
Do you ever recall a situation taking place between you and Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
I read it. Do you recall a situation that took place between you and your Lester Sanders?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury in the court about it.
Okay, this was when I returned from Ware County. In the process, my mother and I were relocating back to Doherty County. I finished up my 7th grade year in Ware County. So once I got promoted to the 8th, I moved back so that my mother and I could go to our new location. And during the time I was waiting on her to arrive back to Doherty County, I stayed with my sister and Lester and the kids when they were home alone. And there was one day, eventually, summer passed by and it was time for me to go back to school. At that point, I was in my 8th grade year at Doherty. And one day, there was an altercation between Lester and I. Apparently, I said something that he didn't like and he hit me in my jaw. And I kept right on talking and I went on to school. My sister never got out of bed. I don't think that she was aware of it, but I didn't think anything of it either because I like school. So I just went on to school not thinking anything about it. It was the people at the school that notified my parent about what was going on. I still have that scar today. It was this eye.
Did you describe the story?
When he hit me, apparently my teeth must have cut my jaw on the inside. So sometimes I can feel it, sometimes not, but I still know it's there.
So when you stated that administrators from the school called your mother, they told her what happened.
Yes.
Is that because you told the administrators what happened?
No, that's because they saw it on my face. I was trying to go play.
How old were you in the 8th grade when this happened?
I don't think I had turned 14 yet. I think I was still 13.
Okay. And you testified on the break that your sister is, you guys have a 7-year age difference.
That is correct.
So at the time this happened, your sister would have been 20 years old?
Yes.
You know, I approach the witness. Now showing the witness list be marked as defendant exhibit 4. Previous significant evidence, you know? So that for me, Ms. Odom? Do you recognize the individuals on that item?
Yes, this is my sister Evelyn Odum, which is the Luciana, and you Lester Sanders.
You said Lester Sanders was the individual that punched you in your jaw when you were 13 years old, right?
That is correct.
In that picture, he was a grown man when he punched you in your face, right?
That is correct.
No further questions, Judge.
You do correct.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great day, rest of the day. State next one.
Yes, Your Honor, we call Catherine Sanders.
Say Catherine.
I'm sorry, Catherine Sanders.
Okay, Catherine Sanders.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I may have missed it, I didn't hear whether the court released that, so I was gonna say we don't have an objection to it being released. Mr. Rizzo.
Yeah, okay. We'll be released.
This is released. I told her have a great weekend. I didn't say bad words, so I apologize. Good afternoon, Ms. Sanders. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Have a seat, make yourself comfortable. Keep down my soft spoken, because I have to speak up for you, all right? And adjust the line as well, that'll help, okay? All right.
All right, Ms. Sanders, if you can turn and face me over here and pull your chair up to the microphone because, sorry, but they have to take a record of what we say. So you need to make sure everyone in the room can hear you as well as the court reporter. You doing all right this afternoon? Good, okay. Just make sure to speak up. If you can state your name for the court.
My name is Catherine Sanders,
Is that Catherine with a K or with a C?
with a K.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And, Ms. Sanders, where do you live? What city?
Albany, Georgia.
And how long have you lived in Albany, Georgia?
Ever since '77.
Okay. And are you employed currently?
Work.
And, have you worked in the past or?
No.
Okay. And, so you said you've been in Albany since '77.
Yes.
All right. And you were subpoenaed for this case. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and when I say this case, do you know what case I'm referring to?
The Odum case.
And are you connected,
What did she say?
you said the Odum case,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
sorry about that. Are you connected or related to anybody involved in the case, any of the parties involved in this case?
What do you mean by that?
There's two defendants in this case, that being Ms. Odum and Mr. Sanders. Are you related to either one of them?
Mr. Sanders,
Okay, and Mr. Sanders is who to you?
my brother.
Okay. And do you have any connection with Evelyn Odom, the defendant in this case?
No.
Okay. Do you know any of her family members?
I know a lot of them.
Ma'am?
I know, yes.
Okay, you know all of them, or what, is that what you said, or?
Yes, I know her family.
Okay, and how do you know her family?
Me and her, neighbor's son, John, we was together for 9 years.
Okay, and is that, if John's Miss Mary's son, would that be, the defendant's brother? Evelyn's brother? Okay. And you know about how long you and John Odom were together?
Me and John has stayed together for about 20 years.
Okay. And when did y'all stop being together? Do you remember around that time?
2010.
And I know you said y'all were together. During that time, did y'all live together?
We stayed together, yes.
Okay. And, did y'all have, or did you have an occasion to visit your brother in his home?
Well, we used to go over, but then all of a sudden we stopped going over there.
Okay, now let's back up a minute. Where did y'all go? Y'all used to go over to whose house? Who lived in the household?
When we used to go to Miss Odum house,
Yes. And who lived there? Miss Odom?
Miss Odum, the kids and our brother,
Okay, and when you say kids, who are the kids?
Gregory Peavy, Patrick Thompson, Carrie Sanders, Kenyatta Odom, and later she had the baby, Alyssa Sanders.
Okay. And did you, so y'all would go over there, how often would y'all go over there to visit their household?
Well, we used to go over there pretty regularly, and somehow or another, we just all of a sudden stopped going over there, I don't know why.
Do you remember around when that was, that y'all stopped going over there?
That's been years.
All right, and you mentioned the children. Did you, when y'all went over there, did you see the children? Were they present in the household while y'all were over there?
Yes, they was in the house.
Okay. Did you have any interaction with the children yourself? Like, did you play with them, talk to them, hold them, that kind of thing?
Well, yes, when I could see them and play with them, yes, I did.
Okay.
But maybe when I go over there, half the kids will be in a room, like, shut up in the room, I wonder why are they in the room, why are they not out the room? That's the part I didn't like.
Okay, understand. And did that include Kenyatta?
I don't know, I can't answer that, I don't know.
Okay. And, did you call her Kenyatta, or was there a nickname?
I was calling Kiki.
Kiki? Okay. And what, did she call you anything?
Kiki,
Yes.
how was she? No, she didn't.
Okay, I just didn't know because, okay, so John Odom is her uncle,
Yes,
and you're her aunt,
yes.
not there, would that be right? Okay. And when you were over there interacting with the children, specifically Kenyatta, did you notice anything that concerns you? I know you mentioned in the room or whatever, but did you notice anything that concerns you regarding the children, specifically Kenyatta, is the question.
No, it didn't.
Can you describe Kenyatta to
She
us?
was a little cute little, she was just a little snail baby, red, pretty girl.
Was there anything concerning to you about her appearance or actions or behavior or anything?
Sometimes when you look at Kiki act like she kind of scared. Like, I mean, I don't know why, but I look at her, she looked like she'd be kind of scared.
Was there anything that concerns you about Evelyn, anything that you witnessed concerns you about Evelyn or the defendant's interactions with her daughter, or lack of?
Seem like to me, I mean, I don't dislike Miss Odom or nothing like that, but I just don't like the way she treat her kids.
Well, let's talk about Kenyatta specifically, Kiki, I'm sorry, let's talk about Kiki specifically. Is there something, you made that statement kind of general, but we need to focus on just Kiki. So does that apply to Kiki?
Yes,
Okay, can you tell us what you mean by that?
what I mean by that is I don't like the way she treat them kids.
Well, how does she treat Kenyatta that you didn't like? Let's just talk about Kenyatta.
It just,
Is it, let me ask you this, is it something she says, or does, or doesn't do? I'm just trying to kind of get, you're making a statement, I need
it's
to.
something like, I mean, I don't want to say it wrong, I want to put it right.
Okay, take your time.
This. Okay. I said, Kiki asked me for some more. They was at my house one day. She asked me for some more. So I go to get some water. This comes out of her mom's mouth. She don't need no water. I said, well, she asked me for some water. I'm gonna give her some water. They said, well, we used to get into it about Kiki, when Kiki come around.
Y'all would get into it, was it more than the one time that she didn't want you
It
to
was
report?
just when they come around me and she asked me stuff, it's always something said, that's a child. If a child wants something said, give it to them. And that's what I do.
So that was the issue about you giving her water, was there, or any other items, is it other than just water, or?
Or so for, I mean, when she around me just at that time, that what it was about.
Just a second here. Was there anything? Let me back up just a minute. You had mentioned you had lived in Albany since 1977. And I know, we know you have one sibling at least, that being Elizabeth Sanders. How many other siblings did you have?
I have 4 brothers and me and my sister.
Okay. And to your knowledge, have you, your siblings, or any of your other family lived in Ware County?
No,
And to your knowledge, did Kiki have any physical issues or medical issues that you observed or either the defendant told you about?
so when I heard,
Don't say it unless the defendant told you, you can't say what you heard.
no.
Okay. So basically what you observed here today. Okay. Did you notice anything regarding, Kiki's weight,
So when I
her weight? Did you notice anything regarding how much she weighed? Was she a big child, small child?
she was a small baby, she was no big.
She was small? Okay. And you talked to, what a wonderful child she was and all. Was she a loud child, a soft-spoken child? I mean, I know you said she had been scared, right?
Yeah.
In some sort of way. Was she
She would
quiet?
talk to you, but she talks soft.
Talk soft? Nothing further. The defense may have some questions for you, Ms. Sanders.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Gary Lamar. I have a few questions for you. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
3.
What are their names?
Jackson Sanders, Deidre Sanders, Michael Williams Jr.
And do you know Deidre Sanders is currently being prosecuted by the Glory County District Attorney's Office?
Hmm?
Do you know she was arrested for being involved in the drive-by shooting?
Your Honor, I would object to relevance.
None of those lies. Do you know she was arrested for being involved in the drive-by shooting?
From what I understand, she wasn't in the house, she was out by the car. She didn't know what was going on.
But she was arrested for being involved.
I don't know.
And that case is still pending.
Yeah.
Do you know what office is prosecuting that case? You don't know what the district attorney's office is prosecuting the case? And you mentioned you had 4 brothers?
Yes.
That happened Lester,
Lester Sanders, Willie Sanders, Jerry Sanders, Eddie Sanders.
And are y'all a close family?
Hmm?
Are y'all a close family?
Yes.
You talk about events? You
Hmm?
talk about events in your life? Do you talk?
Do
Do you,
what?
do you talk to your brothers?
Yes,
And your brothers talk to you?
yes.
And y'all discuss what's going on in each other's lives?
Well, so.
So, and did your brother, your Lester, tell you that he shot up Evelyn's car?
Did he shoot? Did he shoot up her car?
Yes.
I heard about that, but I mean, ain't nobody told me nothing, it's just, I heard that when it happened, it was on the news.
Did your brother, your Lester, tell you that he punched Evelyn in the eye multiple times on the left eye?
And, I'm not aware.
Were you around your brother back in the mid-1980s, mid to late 1980s?
The last time I really seen him, they was really at my house. I lived on Evelyn, that was in '88.
And can you describe your brother's demeanor at that time?
What you mean about that?
Was he stressed out in 1988?
He didn't look like he was stressed out.
I'm holding Appendix Exhibit 4. Is that your brother smiling?
Yes, that's his smile.
And back in 1988, would he be smiling like this when you would see him?
In 1988, would he be smiling like that?
Yes. Was he smiling or was he stressed out?
He was always smiling. My brother always kept a smile on his face.
Your brother always kept a job.
Yes.
What about your other brothers? Did they always keep a job? At one point, did your brothers have to travel for work?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury where they would have to travel in order to get to work?
Tell them what?
What locations would your brothers work in? Were they always work in Doherty County?
They were always in the county, they'll travel. My brother Jerry Sanders was working with my brother Lester Sanders at one point.
And at some point, they would have to drive down to Florida to go to work.
Yeah.
Right? And they would travel to other parts of Georgia as well, right?
And when the job is over, they'll come back.
I'm sorry?
And when the job is over, they will come back.
They would come home when the job is over. So they would take clothes and live overnight and come back once that job is done.
Yeah.
And how long would they be gone?
Sometimes for weeks.
So they would have to take,
If they leave with the hours according to how long they be gone, they'll bring them back.
now you mentioned a couple of occasions where you were around Kenyatta and she wanted some water. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And are you close to Jackie as well?
Jackie,
Yes.
that's my sister.
Was this incident before or after she tried to throw Evelyn in the trunk?
You're lost in one of them.
You know, so did Jackie ever tell you that she wanted to throw Evelyn in the trunk, or she tried to throw Evelyn in the trunk?
I don't know.
You don't know if she told you that?
I don't know.
meeting with the GBI in this case, right? And you told them that you never saw Evelyn beat any of her children, is that correct?
I ain't seen no beat.
Thank you.
You met with the, you just testified you met with the GBI, and did they show you a flyer of a sketch of a person, a child? A drawing of a child?
No, and then I saw it on TV.
Okay, you saw it on TV, and what was your impression of that?
When I seen it, well, my son called me and said, Mama,
You can't say what he said, I apologize, but it's a court of law, we have to follow certain rules. So you stated that you personally saw a sketch on TV.
on TV, yeah.
Okay, and what was your impression of that sketch?
I couldn't believe what they were saying. And when I saw it, I said, I know his face. I said, I can't believe it. It is her.
It's who? Who did you think it was?
I knew the day then when I seen the day sketch, I knew who she was.
And who was she?
She,
Okay. But you don't remember the GBI showing you, or a sketch as well on a flyer in your interview?
they was just talking to me.
Okay, all right. And you had said that the defense asked you if you ever witnessed, the defendant, Evelyn Odum, beat Kenyatta, and you answered no. What did you see? It sounds like you're concerned. What did you see between her and Kenyatta or Keith?
When I went over there, one day, and I forgot to say this, see, and I saw it on my eye. I wonder where the burn come from.
Hold on, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to, you pull up to the microphone just a little bit. I know everybody doesn't talk loud like that.
I said, when I went over there one day,
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder where the burn come from on the side of her face. I asked what happened, but I didn't get any answer.
You asked who what happened? The baby King?
First of all, I asked the baby, I said, what happened?
Alright.
She didn't say that. Maybe she was scared.
You're on will, Jet.
Did you ask Evelyn what happened? The defendant, did you ask the defendant what happened?
I didn't ask them, because I felt like if I asked them, they probably wouldn't told
After, you already stated that at some point you never saw Kenyatta again, and you mentioned seeing the flyer up there. Have you ever been present when the defendant has been asked about the location of Kenyatta? Like, where's Kenyatta?
I have.
You have?
Said, well, Kenyatta is, she always in California, she's with some of folks or something.
Is it always what you heard, the same story or a different story?
Same story. The father came to her grandmother's house one day, over on Atkins. She asked Miss Odum, has she seen Kiki? Miss Odum said,
You're on will, Jet, here's
Okay, yeah, don't say what anybody says. But let me clarify one thing. Are you saying you were there when someone?
okay, and
Wait, hold on.
said that,
Hold on, just a minute. I've got to clarify some things for the court. And I'm sorry, I know it's frustrating. People coming here, it's not like how we are. We have to go by certain procedures. I do apologize. Let me back up just a minute. You said someone came over there, but I've got to back up and ask you, whoever this was that came wherever, were you present at that house or place?
I was at the house.
Okay, all right, okay. I had to make sure. So you said you were at whose house?
I was at Miss Odum's house.
And Miss Odom meaning, who Miss Odom?
The mother,
Okay. Would it be Mary Odom? I'm just trying to keep it clear. So you were at Mary Odom's house. Was the defendant Evelyn Odom there? Okay. And you said that he came to the house. Don't say what anybody said,
I don't know his name like that. But he said, he came and he asked,
You can't, yeah, you can't say what he said.
Running the approach.
Yes. All right. Ms. Sanders, we need to clarify just a few things. Proceed, Ms. Mullis.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews, I want to direct your attention to when you testified about Ms. Odom, the defendant, stating that when someone asked her where Kiki was, that Kiki was in California, Kiki was, you know, she was always telling Kiki was in California or some other story regarding that. Were you present yourself and heard Ms. Odom say that?
yes,
Okay, so you were physically present when you heard her say that out of her mouth?
yes.
Okay. I think the defense may have some questions, but that's the issue here.
When you say Miss Odom, are you referring to Miss Miriam,
No, conference with the law,
her daughter, Evelyn Odom?
yes.
And where was this conversation?
What was the conversation?
Yes, when were y'all having these conversations?
Well, when she was calling over to her mom house, and I was over there, we asked what Kiki had, it's always something different. I mean, if Kiki in California, she will have focused, she's somewhere. It's always something different about Kiki, and we never see Kiki.
Thank you.
But we'll never think that like this, you know.
One second, Your Honor. wasn't there, is that right?
Yeah, she said so.
You were talking about some situation, and the man knocked on the door, you said that Mary Odum was there, but Evelyn Odum was not there. Did you ever testify about hearing some things with Mary Odum and not Evelyn Odum being present?
That was about when the father came, about the daughter at the long house, she wasn't there.
Okay, try that one more time. Okay.
I guess that was, the father came to see the child, and Miss Mary said, she said that the child was your mom. He says, Mom and my sister and them haven't seen her in months. I was present at that.
You were present at Mary's house,
Yes.
and the man came to Mary's house,
Yes.
and Evelyn wasn't at the house. Thank you.
I don't have anything else, but I do not plan to go into that last issue that she started talking about regarding the man coming to the
So
house.
are you gonna recall her purpose of verifying that initial that was his? Or are we gonna leave it like it is? What's the?
You got more questions for her?
Just, prevent the record, Your Honor, can she say 5 minutes?
Yes. Step up, one more time. True, that too. Your sister's working at work today.
I almost feel like I'm looking down on it. Probably I'm glad, yes, on law. I had to send a lot of test, hospital, this for a week. The rest of them, yeah, I don't really. Hopefully, I can. What's this to do? Yes, it's, when you walk. So I say,
All right, Ms. Sanders, I just have one follow-up question for you. The judge may have some additional questions, but just one follow-up question about something you had testified to earlier. So I had asked, you had testified that you were present when Ms. Odum, or Evelyn Odum, was asked about the whereabouts, where Kiki was. Was that your testimony? That you were present when, and heard the defendant explain or tell that Kiki was in California?
yes, I was trying to line when she said that, kept saying that Kiki was in California, or Kiki was with some of her family members.
Okay,
That went on for a long time.
okay, and you were present and heard the defendant, Evelyn Odom, say that when questioned about where Kiki was?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The defense may have some follow-up.
I don't have any questions for you, Your Honor.
All right. And she may be excused as far as the state's concerned. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, we would call it Tanya Hopkins, and this would be the state's last witness for today.
The Tanya Hopkins. If I pronounce that correctly. Please, yes, sir, my opinion.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Sorry about that. I keep getting to turn my light back on. Getting late in the day. It's afternoon for all of us. Can you please state your name for the court?
Latanya Sanders, Hopkins.
Okay. And where do you live in Hopkins?
I live here in Albany, Georgia.
Okay. And were you born and raised here in Albany?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you employed currently?
I am,
And where are you employed at?
America's Middle School.
Okay. And what do you do at the middle school?
I'm a 7th grade social studies teacher.
Okay. And how long have you been teaching?
I've been there 3 years.
And how long have you been a teacher? Is that the same amount of
Yes.
time? Okay. And what did you do prior to becoming a teacher?
I was a probation parole officer.
Okay. And where was that
Camilla, Georgia, Mitchell County.
at? Mitchell County? Okay. And how long were you a probation parole officer? Are you, probation and parole officer, are y'all law enforcement, or do you have to have, what do you have to have to do that, I guess? What kind of training?
You have to have a bachelor's degree and you do have to train for the job.
And to be a teacher, were you able to be a teacher with whatever degree that you have that allows you to be a probation officer?
Yes, ma'am, I have a master's
Okay. And what is your master's degree in?
criminal justice.
All right, and you were subpoenaed for this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when I say this case, you know what I'm referring to?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, and do you know the defendant, Evelyn Odum?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you know her?
She dated my uncle,
Okay, and who is your uncle?
Ulysses Senator.
Okay, and how is he your uncle?
My mom's brother,
And what's your mom's name?
Jacqueline Pruitt.
And were you ever around the defendant and your uncle Lester when they were together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you ever go to their house?
I don't remember going to their house. I don't.
Did they ever come to yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you remember how often they would come to yours?
It was quite often.
Okay. And what age were you? When I say your house, were you a minor living with your
Yes, ma'am.
adult other ones? And who did you live with?
My mother.
And you said they would come in there quite frequently?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they have any children that they brought with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who were those children?
They were her kids.
Okay. Okay, and do you remember the names of her children?
I think one name was Patrick, Gregory, and Kiki, of course.
And does your uncle have any children with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who are those children?
She's my cousin. I haven't seen her in a while.
Okay. All right, and is that the only child your uncle Lester had?
They have another one, but he passed away as a baby.
Okay. And what, do you remember his name?
He was a junior, he was a junior.
Okay. And when they would come to the house and visit, would everybody come, both your uncle, the defendant, and the children, or is it fair?
They came up, them and the kids.
Okay. And how old, if you remember, was Kiki when they would come over there? Or,
Maybe 5, between 4 and 5.
and did you have the opportunity to observe her and her parents while they were over there interacting at your mom's house?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. And can you tell us about Kiki, what you observed, what kind of child she appeared to be?
When she appeared to be, she didn't speak too much. She appeared to be fragile. Her face was sunken in. She was just very quiet.
When you say her face was sunken in, are you saying that she was thin, or just something wrong with her face, or?
Meaning she was thin. You could see her bones, cheekbones.
Did you observe, when Kiki was over there, did you observe her playing, or eating, or anything like that? Like, they come over and eat lunch and dinner, I mean, what did they do when they came over there?
The kids, well, of course, they would come visit. The other kids would talk, move around and walk, but she didn't. She would stay in one spot, just sit there. She would always ask for water. She had this low voice. She always wanted water, always. She would speak to me, asking for the water, but once her mom came around, she would be quiet. She wouldn't say anything. said, walk around, move, talking,
So they acted different than Kenyatta or Kiki?
very different, yes.
Did you ever, have the opportunity to witness Kiki, I know you mentioned water, did you ever have the opportunity to witness Kiki eating anything at your house?
I did, sometimes, we'll have dinner and we give her food and, the way she ate, I knew that she probably wasn't eating. She ate very, fast, like she hadn't ate anything all day.
Like she was hungry, that
Yes,
was
very hungry.
very hungry. Was there ever anything that you noticed about her physical appearance that concerns you?
Like I said, she was very thin, she looked a bit malnourished to me, very, sickly. Yes.
Did you ever see any injuries or anything like that on her?
I don't remember that.
Did you remember talking to the GBI in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember telling them that, that the boys didn't have any wounds, but it looked like Kiki might have had some bruises?
I do recall that. Yes.
Did you ever witness Evelyn, the defendant, abuse Kiki?
I didn't.
So was your recordings, your observations of how the child acted
Yes,
and looked?
yes.
Nothing else at this time, the defense may have some questions.
Good morning, Ms. Hopkins.
Yes, sir.
I mean, good afternoon, I'm sorry. I am Lamar Gardner, and I'm with Odum.
Okay.
Just following up from the grant, I think you stated that, you never saw, evidence of using either group.
I never saw her abuse Kiki.
You also stated that when he came into your house, she didn't speak.
That's correct.
Do you remember her always being attached to your mom's leg, smiling?
To my mother?
Correct.
No, I don't recall that.
So when they would come over, you would see her attached to your mom?
I didn't.
And so back in 1988, you would have been around 7, 8.
Yes, sir.
You said you never went to Lester Evans' house, they were all come to your house.
Yes.
Stated that she always wanted water,
Yes, sir.
and you found that concerning.
I did.
Why'd you find it concerning?
Because it seemed like, every time she came, and she was always asking for water in a low voice.
You have a son?
I do.
Is that Cameron?
I do.
When the GBI interviewed you, did they?
No.
Have you ever spoken with the last DA, Greg Edwards, regarding this case?
And what were you talking about?
Anyway, regarding this case.
And we're not going to pay.
Regarding your son?
No. No.
Was it regarding any son? GBI interviewed you, did they, so they asked about evidence, they asked about evidence in Lester's relationship, right?
Yes.
Did they ask you if you knew about Lester shooting up Evan's car?
No, I didn't get that.
They asked you if you remember Lester punching Evan?
No.
Do you know Kiki was born premature?
No, I don't.
So you wouldn't know if she had medical issues or
No.
And did you know for sure why she was small?
I don't.
Did you just assume it was neglect?
Nothing.
Do you remember observing Lester and Evan's relationship or interaction with each other at all when you were a child?
I don't remember that.
You know if your family, your mom or aunts, if they cared for Evan at all?
I've never heard them say anything as loud as my knowledge.
And your mom is Jackie?
Yes, sir.
Prove it.
Yes.
You don't know how she and Evan had an issue?
I don't know.
Do you remember when you interviewed with Special Agent Huntley, you told her that mom never cared for Evan?
I don't remember that.
You remember telling her that you never recalled you left telling anyone what happened?
I don't.
You don't recall?
No, I never said anything like that, no.
Can you testify that you saw a bruise by Kiki's head when y'all were younger?
I think maybe I said something like that.
Did you know what the bruise was?
I don't know.
So you don't know if it comes from Evan, correct?
No, sir, no.
Because you never said about you, Kiki?
Not to my knowledge.
You said you recall telling Special Agent Huntley that Kiki was always well dressed, that her hair was done,
Hair was done, she wasn't well dressed.
that she wasn't,
She
she
was.
was well dressed. Well dressed hair done, you consider that Evan, I mean, she put some care in it, she prepared it all, go right into the house.
Yes, sir, I was.
So she didn't neglect her appearance, correct?
Yes, she did.
You stated in direct that you were a former probation officer.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember Paul with Greg Edwards concerning a probation officer of yours who was charged with crime?
Years ago, yes.
How long ago?
Maybe 6.5 years, maybe it was about 5.
So prior to the GBI interviewing you about this case, prior to you testifying that you didn't Greg Edwards, prior to today?
I'm sorry.
I said prior to today, even prior to your interview with Special Agent Huntley, is it fair to say that you knew and had a relationship while you were working with Greg Edwards?
I wouldn't say that.
Or have you had discussions with him regarding charge crime for your probation?
Um,
So I'm sorry, like I said, probation officer, earlier, I think probation.
When I was a probation parole officer, yes.
Just to make sure that's why he was like, yeah,
Yes, sir.
No further questions.
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, Ms. Hopkins, is anyone in your family, that you know of connected to Ware County, ever lived there, worked there, or anything like that? Ware County, Georgia.
No, ma'am.
And you stated that the defense was asking you about it, that Kenyatta spoke in a low voice. And I just want to clarify that. So did she have a low voice, or are you saying that she was lowering her voice like maybe a whisper or something?
Exactly what I'm saying. It was a whisper.
Okay, so not in her normal voice when she would ask for water?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. And when she came over there, you testified that her appearance was good regarding clothing and I guess her hair was done.
Yes, ma'am.
Was her hair done when she was eating food, like she was hungry and starving?
Yes, her hair was done.
Was she dressed good and her hair done when she was sitting in your house with her cheeks sunken in?
Yes, ma'am.
Was her hair done when you saw suspected bruises on her?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a time that Kenyatta stopped coming to your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever see Kenyatta after that?
I did.
Did the defendant or your Uncle Sanders ever come to your house after she went missing?
They did.
And did you ever see the boys after Kenyatta went missing?
Yes, ma'am.
But you didn't see Kenyatta?
Didn't see her.
And did the defendant offer any explanation for that you know of, to you about that?
No, ma'am.
Or in your presence?
No, ma'am.
No further questions.
If I was to tell you that Mr. Edward communicated to Attorney Lamar that he had spoken to you regarding this case, would it be true?
He mentioned I would be summoned, maybe because it was my uncle.
So back to my original question, so you did have a conversation with Edward regarding this case?
Maybe briefly.
You know,
No, I don't.
for the prior.
I don't know.
You happen to know if there was a recording of that phone call?
No, sir.
No further questions.
Just one more question. After that phone call, did you then meet with the GBI?
I never met with the GBI. I spoke with her over the phone.
That's what I mean. You were interviewed by the GBI?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. No further questions.
Anything else?
Nothing further, we would like to call back, people will call back.
Excuse me?
No further questions from us, but we would like to have a call back, call back.
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to keep her as well. On call.
Okay, cheers. Okay, thank you very much for your time. All right.
Your Honor, this state, that concludes our witnesses for today. I did have 2 additional witnesses that had, some issues, family issues, and were unable to be here today, beyond control, so that is our last witness for today.
All right, thank you all for a good week.